farmhouse 10 miles outside town.
Greg, the meeting's starting.
Okay. I call this meeting in order. Please start the video. Please stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance.
Recording in progress.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Don? Here. Justin? Here. Nancy?
Here.
AJ? Here. Owen? Here. Everybody's present.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Jeff Weeks is our
What is your official title? Liaison? Is that what it is?
our council liaison is here as well. I would accept a motion for approval of today's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda. I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we move on to Tourism Director Report.
Good morning, Lodgers Tax Board. I think we had clarification from our village manager. We are not an advisory committee, we are a board. So it'll be listed in on the village website as a board. We are monitored by the state where no other committees are, so we're a little more official here. So that's why they're watching. Couple things coming up. First thing I want to do is introduce Brandon Prather. He's new in the tourism office, new at the visitor center. Brandon and I worked together at the resort for at least a winter. He was working in retail and then he worked at the lake. Came highly recommended from his boss and the people he worked with there as very hardworking and shows up every day. And then when I started interviewing and found out he could do some marketing things, help me out on social media, website things and other stuff, and events, it was a good candidate. We interviewed through the process, and Brandon's been a good addition in the department for now 8 days, 9 days? Yeah. So he's working on developing new events. As you know, we're on a mission to come up with 10 major events a year. Right now, we had been trying to work with a past bull riding partner who has now told us that he's left town. So Brandon's now looking for a new rodeo operator that could bring an event into town with some bucks and other things, make it a more than just an evening event, make it a day and evening event. So we're working on a rodeo event. He's working on a carnival provider, bringing in a carnival with actual rides to put at the end of the 4th of July parade. Because one of the comments was we didn't have enough going on there, so we bring him in for Friday and Saturday, 4th of July. So we're working on that. Immediately, he's working on Obla Tamale. You'll notice that's not on our agenda. We had approved funding for it, and we were moving forward with that. It didn't go to council for approval because the chamber, we met with the chamber. They hadn't gotten very much work done on the event. They were panicking that it was falling apart. Brandon stepped in. He's found a tamale vendor. He's found music. He's got alcohol set up. We're going to do Obla Tamale on that Saturday of Labor Day. We will not be putting out money to other people for funding it. We're doing it in-house on our own. So that $12,500 that was approved will not be allocated out to the chamber. So just an update on that. Other events he's working on, we've got Oktoberfest coming up, October 5 and 6 in Frontier Park, with it being an afternoon evening event on Friday. Saturday, more of a family-oriented event. We're trying to get the high school band, is that what we're trying?
Still in the works.
Yeah. We're trying to get the high school band to come down and play. We're working on some polka band and things like that. But we've got the food trucks cooking up German food. So we'll get that Oktoberfest feeling going. Some of these events we're starting small, obviously. You know, he's been at it for 8 days and it's like, here, put on a world-class event. Like, get the Olympics going for us, please. We're just spoiled by that and that's what we want. we're gonna start small, we're gonna get these things going. We're gonna learn who the vendors are, we're gonna learn what our successes are, we're gonna make them grow. So I'm really happy to have Brandon as part of our team.
Can you go ahead, Brandon, how do you spell your last name for our minutes?
Prather, Prather.
Awesome, welcome.
Thank you.
Greg, are we calling it Oktoberfest?
Is that what did you call it?
Oktoberfest
Because we had said
2024.
fall colors or something. so-
Oh, the fall color thing, I worked with Cody on that wine thing and trying to get, and I couldn't get it together.
Okay, so we're
It
calling
just
this
wasn't happening.
Oktoberfest.
And
So
it's
we're, this,
October with a K and a
Yeah.
dash and a
Oh.
yeah. But yeah, the color tour, we're still gonna promote the artist tour, but I couldn't get anybody to commit to help out on a wine dinner and the color thing. I think it's still an event we can do, and it's something we just need to plan and get on top of. A lot, some of these events take about a year to get them.
Brandon, you've had 8 days, I don't know what
I'm
you.
trying, step by step.
In addition to that, he's been at the new visitor center building furniture, so we've got a lot of stuff going on. Other things in the tourism director update, our RFP that we put out for RFP 2002-020 that was put out for advertising agency of record for the Village of Angel Fire. Those have to be submitted by Friday or Thursday, 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So we will be opening those here in Village Hall. It's been posted. The public meeting for opening of those RFPs will be Friday at 2 p.m. They will go to a review committee that right now it looks like it's Mike Hawkins, who's the marketing director at the resort. He's got a background in marketing and advertising. He'd be a good review committee. I want to put April Ralph on it because she's done this for Chaffey County and for the Village of Red River. She's done RFPs and reviews and checked proposals for them. I know it's close because she's my wife. Nobody's complaining about that yet, but I'd like her to be on the committee because of her experience. And I'm looking for a third person. Don't have that yet. I'd obviously like to have someone with some marketing advertising background. Then that committee's done with their process. The RFPs, the recommended RFPs, the ones that were submitted properly, the ones that met all the qualifications will come to you guys. So we'll be scheduling a meeting to look through those, review those. Obviously, we'll give you time to read them and go through them, but then we'll get back together in a public setting with a meeting to determine who this committee would recommend to village council to receive that RFP.
Will you give me the number again for the RFP?
It is 2002-020. 2002-020. That's the legal name on it. It was published. Colorado in the Chieftain and the Colorado Springs Gazette, in New Mexico in the Taos News, the Santa Fe New Mexican, and the Albuquerque Journal. We have not received any proposals yet. There is a log at the front desk, and they mark them the time they come in, the order they come in, and it goes through a legal process. So we're going through all the steps, so we don't have to go back and do this again.
Have you
What
had
was it?
feedback, oh, I'm sorry. Have you had feedback that people, or are you just saying we haven't gotten any?
We have not gotten any. I've gotten inquiries
Official.
from about 5 firms.
Okay.
There's been 5 firms that have contacted me with specific questions that I won't answer. Because if I answer a question for you, I've got to make sure you have that same answer. And one of them said, well, just answer it and post them and then we can all read it. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm not educating to you guys as to who Angel Fire is and who our markets are and those kind of things.
Yeah, we want somebody that could do that on their own.
Yeah, I don't need to do your job and then pay you. I need you to help me do my job and make this village a better place.
So when's the
So
deadline for that?
those have to be in by 5 o'clock on Thursday evening.
Tomorrow,
I know one agency that is driving theirs up here.
So you feel like you're gonna have a couple?
I know we'll have,
Or at least
I
one.
know we'll have 5 that I can think of.
Okay.
I know we'll see one from Cottonwood Advertising, a couple ladies I worked with at the resort, they do stuff for the resort. We will see one from Christofferson.
Greg, stand over here.
We will see one from Doug Kofer, who has an agency in Texas. And then there's a couple other agencies, one that had an office in Dallas and New York City that's asked me some questions, and one more, and all 5 of those said they would be submitting. But in fairness and equality and everything, I'm staying as Swiss as I can on all of this. Neutral, impartial. Yeah, we want to get things going and get things built up again, but Brandon has stepped in and gotten social media going again. We're back on Facebook, we're getting our events out there and things like that. So we're catching up. It's just this little timeout didn't help us, obviously.
So I guess with Oktoberfest, that'll be our last event of the season, or?
No, we're gonna do a bonfire in November. I guess they used to call it Calling All Flakes.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
We're gonna bring that back in November, right? That was our November event.
Get the Pueblo to come up.
They had native dancers before, right?
Yeah, the Pueblo, and they would do their, calling off,
Is Calling All Flakes a dance?
it's
The snow Zorbra or whatever it was called they would burn every year?
I don't remember the stuff,
Yeah, there was something,
but I like
yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's Alpha Santa Fe, they have something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they burn the Zobra.
Yeah. And then they would do it with sails. They
You
would
marking
tie
down all these
sails in
ideas,
it.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Brandon's
absolutely.
learning a lot real quick.
Yeah, it was always good to have the Pueblo and.
Yeah, so that'll be our November event. December, it sort of takes care of itself with just the opening of the resort and winter coming to town and getting those things going. January, the end of January, the snow shovel races are coming back. Now they got rid of me, they're bringing back the snow shovel races. But I was the one who killed it, yes. It was my first year I got to the resort. All the staff was complaining about it. I got these huge lodging bills of like 40 grand because someone was inviting all the meteorologists and stuff up from Albuquerque. And it turned into a winter vacation for these families in Albuquerque. They weren't getting much publicity out of it. The entry levels on the event were going down. The staff's complaints were going up. So I'm like, it's the last shovel race, we'll see what happens. And attendance, it doubled in numbers, came back from life support. And it's just sort of been on the back burner now, so now we can go with return of the shovel races.
It's huge.
I actually tried to get the resort to put the little poly shovels, those plastic ones, the ones that are all nylon, put those on the hill for sledding, in their sledding hill, to do something with those so you could actually monetize shovel racing and have qualifying for shovel racing on a daily basis. It didn't fly. Maybe they can get it together.
They're still talking about doing that.
Good, because that makes sense. So then, and what we will do, and Brandon's already been researching this, we'd like to bring in, we'd like to enhance that. I've already talked to Hawk. We're gonna be doing fireworks for the Saturday night of shovel racing. The village will pay for those fireworks. Brandon's looking for people that provide ice sculptures. Because we found one that's 40 grand that'll bring in all these ice sculptures from Colorado and set up this nice, like you're walking through an ice castle type thing.
Like a
Be
whole
pretty
village.
cool.
It's like a village. You walk through it and then it's a village.
Oh, man.
So
It's like
we're
mountains.
looking at how we can, from the village side, enhance something that the resort's got established and build on that thing and rock it and put some heads in beds. My date that I propose to do it is January 31st, February 1, I think that's the perfect weekend to do it because there's no NFL playoff games there. It's a dead week. The resort's thinking the week before. I don't know why. I'm gonna try to talk to them and get them to look at a calendar. Because I think they moved their member weekend later or something off of Martin Luther King. They need
Yes,
to move
we
it back.
did last year. Was not Martin Luther King last year.
Yeah.
They moved it.
Yeah, so we'll get these calendars straightened out, but we're building on the events, trying to get things going. Brandon's already got a big job. Any ideas that come out of it are greatly appreciated. So the native dancer stuff, any of you guys that have history and know the things that happened here in the past, we don't, so we need that.
Contact information.
Yeah, it's the Pueblo, but I'll get it to you, Taos Pueblo.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have we ever done or considered snowmobile races?
Or a hill
They-
climb.
Well, race to face, yeah.
Yeah.
The Red River, that's,
They used to, didn't they do it, did they do a hill
Doing
climb
something
here
real
ever
different.
at the end of the season?
I don't ever remember one.
No?
Track race or something?
I know they did a hare and a hound, but they did a motorcycle scramble up the resort
Right,
years ago.
yeah.
And I don't think that's gonna happen here because they tore up the resort pretty bad.
Sure.
But it sounded fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have. And I don't know how you'd have to use resort runs, obviously. It'd have
There's
to,
some area.
it'd be have to, well,
There's a lot of snowmobiles around here.
yeah. It'd
Yeah.
have to be end of season, after ski season's over, but that third week of March, there's still plenty of winter. As we saw last year, there's plenty of
There's
snow.
always a big storm that hits when the mountain closes every year.
Check into that, let's check that, call.
Yeah, that downhill mountain bike race that we did at the last, 4 o'clock on the last day of the season was.
In a blizzard.
Blizzard. It was crazy. It was crazy.
You couldn't see 10 feet.
No, at the bottom of the exhibition, when they were about to come down, you couldn't see the top of the exhibition. It was snowing so hard. But it was fun. There's a big entry in that too.
Check with Andy Whitaker, he may know about the snowmobile race, if there was something done here. He'll have that background.
Okay.
Is that it, Greg?
For tourism director report, yes,
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
unless you want more.
We want more.
That's why you're here.
Dave, why don't we
That's
have
why
more
you're here.
events already? We'll move on to old business, visitor center relocation update.
Okay, it's happening. If any of you have been by the Frontier Plaza building, as soon as we started to look at moving in there, like cleaning carpets and arranging things, they went in with construction crews and made a mess of everything. So the roof's off it, the windows are out. We had furniture delivered yesterday. Kit Carson, our IT guys were there yesterday. Kit Carson just needs to hook up the service there, then we can have IT in there. We've got our carpets cleaned. We are hoping to be out of there and into there within 2 weeks. We'll see. I don't know when those windows are coming on. If it's anything like renewal by Anderson, it could be 6 months. So we're working on it. We're excited to get over there. Right now, I've got Brandon and Caroline and I working in the fishbowl across the street. It's kind of small, and Trini Bradley starts next week. So Trini is back.
Yes.
Trini is the visitor center in this community. She knows all the people. We're super happy to have her on board. She's good.
Great addition there.
Yeah, she's knowledgeable. She knows all the businesses. She talks to everybody. We're super excited. So that's the visitor center update.
We'll move on then to new business. Item number 1 is winter visitor guide discussion.
All right, this is a timing thing basically, and I'm looking for guidance from this board. When we started on our road with Christofferson, one of the projects that they were gonna do is produce a higher quality visitor's guide for us for this winter. We're run up against time constraints on getting that project done. And the Taos News is interested in doing it again. They will step up the production in any way, shape, or form we want with a different color or whatever we want to do. But I need to know, do I start working down the road with the Taos News now so we have a visitor's guide that's out and on the shelves by the beginning of November, or do we delay this and potentially not have a visitor's guide till January? If it were me, I'd stay the course, go with Taos News again, get something out, get it out early, and get things moving. So that's.
Do we have any assets from the winter photo shoot? Okay.
We just got some summer assets from Christofferson as well. Obviously, I'd like to go with a bigger magazine, a better production, and get that done right. But I don't know if we'll have agency support that can get that project produced prior to winter. I'm sure we can for spring, for our next summer's guide. Whatever agency we hire can jump on it and start that production process.
So the RFPs are delivered tomorrow. You're opening them on Friday. When would you all expect to have completed your round of narrowing it down?
We can narrow it down pretty quick, but council, you're gonna look at council approval probably a month from now.
So we're looking already into mid-September at the earliest. Yeah, we would probably, I would encourage it, since we've used them in all of the last ones, they're familiar with the process.
They've done it 3 times in a row now. They know the people, they've got the writers, they've got access to the assets.
If January turns into February, you might, it's
Might as well
useless.
skip it, yeah.
So, yeah, I think it needs to be done
All right.
sooner and do it on time, or we're rolling the dice, and probably that's
Yeah, then we can
a lot
discuss,
to ask.
then we can discuss what the next agency, if they want.
Exactly, and look at that proposal in depth and see exactly what we want to do. If you've noticed, if you've been on the website lately, you'll notice that we have lodging listings. All the lodging listings are populated, well, a lot of them, a lot of the resort properties aren't on there yet. But we've got that information out there. So that visitor's guide, we obviously want to put as many links back to that website to find that lodging list, those events things, all that other stuff. The visitor's guide is going to be a referral piece to the website, because the website's where you'll get the more timely, in-depth information. And that's the stuff we can repopulate, update throughout the winter.
Well, I mean, is this something we should entertain a motion to go ahead and move forward
I don't know if you have to.
officially? Okay. Well,
It's just, I was looking for direction because I wanted to fill you in on, if it was just me in a vacuum, I'd call Chris Wood at the Taos News and say, let's go.
I think we all agree on that. Yeah.
no. Does anybody not agree?
I'm just.
Well, if you're agreeing on a motion, you're gonna have to post it, again. That's
Okay. Well, now we have
the
to.
issue that we'll have.
Yeah.
We
But
can't
Because
approve
there's
This
something.
is only, it's only on here for discussion.
Yeah, so I think as a group, individually, I'll say I think we should just go ahead and move forward with Taos News, because I don't think there's any way, if somebody comes on board, that we can put it together in time. And like Don said, at that point, why would we even do it? But I think it's good to have one. We have visitors here at Christmas, they have the guide with them, that it just helps us going forward from there.
We have 2 requests that came into the Visitors Center today for other communities, Roswell and one other, I think, that wanted our winter visitors guide. They want to make sure we get on the mailing list for our winter visitors guide. So people are already talking about it.
So is this something that we can go ahead and say it's gonna go, but it doesn't have to go to the council because we've done it in the past? What are we saying?
This never went to council before.
Okay, it never did before.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't, we haven't,
so it doesn't
Yeah, I
have
like
to go.
it.
I haven't ever, you would know probably more than I would.
No, this is something that's more just the advertising.
It's just a project. It's just a marketing project.
All right, we'll move to item 2, village plan discussion.
As everybody here knows, Mr. Humbert's in charge of a comprehensive plan committee, and the village has more excitement about building and developing and doing things than I've seen since I've lived here. It's pretty neat to see a lot of people in the community coming together to talk about a new fire station, a conference center, and the things that we want to do, improvements in Allen Fields and those kind of things. And all I'm asking from you guys in this committee is to be thinking about things you've seen in other communities and come to appreciate, and ideas that you have, and be willing to share them and get in, not attend another meeting for more of this stuff, but make your comments known, like information about how you feel a bandstand should be designed. Get that information out to those people on council and on Bill's committee and in our group and with our staff, so we have a good picture of how the tourism and the lodgers tax board would like to see improvements made in this village that will actually help us increase lodgers tax. So that's all I was doing. So I sent out a couple emails. One had some examples of other facilities, Red River and some other communities that you've seen. When I go around, and like last year I was in Colorado and I saw some of these facilities, and a lot of them that I look at, and when I realize, oh, that's great, and it's basically a county fair facility. It's more than we can do, but wow, they have everything we need. They have bleachers, they have an arena, they have all this stuff. So if you guys can think about other communities that are like-minded, things that you've experienced, and just share those thoughts and ideas with others. That's all I was trying to do, is stimulate some thought.
I don't think it would be a bad idea if we maybe got on the agenda of the next planning one to like interject the tourism. Because we have funding that can be used immediately on those projects.
Right.
So, I'm gonna make a trip to Slida this weekend, so I'm gonna take a look at, I know they have a nice little band shell area.
Go down to the steam plant,
Yes.
which was their old electric plant that they've turned into a conference facility. And then just a half a block away, there's the park right on the river. It has a bandstand in it and so forth.
And they have at least I think they have 2 skate parks, and so I'm gonna check out all those things while we're there.
Yeah.
Well, are we, in this comprehensive plan, is it all gonna be behind us in this land?
I think it's the whole village is what they're looking at. They're looking at
Softball
Allen
field,
Fields.
fields.
They're looking at everything. It's comprehensive, I think is what.
So what are the plans then for the community center?
Hopefully find a church to buy it.
Okay.
Build a new one.
And then what?
And build a new one where people can get to it.
More in
A
maybe
better
this
location.
area?
Yeah, Plaza del Sol has sewers and electricity, and there's some development that's happened back there already. And it's right for the center of town. We need that gathering point, that walk around, that's sort of what we need.
And they're
Community
already,
center is great, but it's so far away.
Okay.
yeah, they're already looking at, lights, concessions, bathrooms for Allen Fields, maybe even looking at expanding to because there's already, the plan was already designed, the
That's what I
original
was gonna
plan.
say,
Is
yeah.
that
It has,
in 2008 or?
So, and then networking trails to there, and yeah, Plaza del Sol.
Because if you go to the website, it says they're on phase 1 of 4.
Yeah, right.
So-
Yeah, there's a whole, there's a full circle, that's a half circle, there's another full circle, fields, softball and soccer fields that's supposed to go next to that one, and then the skate park / pump track, we're looking at, hopefully we're supposed to get another bid for that on the Trails Committee coming in, so we'll know some numbers to bring to this board to see if we can move forward with that.
The resort would like to see a direct road into Allen Field, which when you go by it and you're near the highway and you look, it's really close.
Yeah, and we're working on that, that's the top priority and then it's already, so when they put in the sewer, basically, there's an easement through there. And so that, hopefully, that's next, as far as top priority to bring in the village, with the trails is from the solar, what is that trail there, behind us, all the way to Allen Fields. That's, the network.
Get that done, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting time in Angel Fire. I just want to make sure that we speak on behalf of tourism and get our share.
Yeah, and I think if anything, this summer it's been awesome with our rain, but we need some place to have events that's not at the whim of the rain, Mother Nature. So, I mean, I think moving toward that. But, yeah, I mean, everybody, I plan on going to a few different places this fall and just seeing what they have to offer. And maybe we can submit some proposals to the committee also.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, just because they're trying to figure out where everything would be, and make sure the land's used wisely. I mean, it's a great proposal, the one they have on there, and fortunately 2008 happened and sent it in the wrong direction.
So close.
Well, anybody else have any discussion on that?
No, I mean, I guess the only thing would be like how are we gonna be able to get, motorcycle tours, or something, or car, Corvette tours, but things that, reach out to some of those people, like if they're having I know I've seen Shelby Cobras, the Cobra cars that go, and I've seen them going through Pilar and they'll come through here. Who's doing those and, where are they stopping?
It's the clubs, and I'm a member of the Porsche Club,
Yeah.
and they want to do an event up here, but they also want roads that they can drive their Porsches on.
That's true.
So I haven't gone after that market yet with that mess.
Yeah, we'll need the enduro clubs, right?
So, but the Porsche Club, Corvettes, there's a bunch of them, the car show circuit, and Brandon's working on gathering up all that information. We want to make sure any of these promoters that are doing any events anywhere know that Angel Fire is the venue to use. I mean, we can do a concourse de elegance for a car show at the golf course that is stunning. So this is the place.
Have we ever thought of a splash pad like they have in Eagle Nest?
They're doing one at Olympic Park.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
already been,
Oh,
it's
good.
already in the
Okay,
works.
I don't want to necessarily duplicate, but we need something for the little kids, that would be a draw.
100%,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
hopefully up here, it's cold enough that, like a lot of communities where they're shutting them down now because of bacteria, we don't have to do that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's the plus. Your lips are purple, but
Yeah.
you don't
The
have.
kids don't care. The kids don't care.
They don't.
They don't.
They really don't.
They don't feel cold.
No.
A few months ago, we were talking about signage out at, at the city limit signs. Where are we on that?
Love to pick back up on that.
That was
Nothing.
more in the group, Christo that
Right.
was involved in that, so we'll be starting over on that with the new
It's
whoever.
a lot of things that I need design work done. Like, right now, we worked on a sign for the visitor center that was in production. And I told the sign guy, don't produce it. I need a real graphic artist to do it. I was able to get the one done for Village Hall on our own, but not for the visitor
Are we
center.
planning to kind of copy what we have at Frontier Park or like at our church, the logs and that sort of thing that kind of all blends it together? Are we?
This is a sign on a building, this isn't a freestanding sign.
Oh, okay, so,
The freestanding
We were
sign,
talking about something like out by the country club.
a landmark sign.
Yeah.
With the rock work and the
Right.
angel fire sign and the plants, like the country, like the sign at
Right,
the country
right,
club, like
But on
that.
the,
yeah, but out
Entrance,
there
yeah.
and, yes, okay.
Yeah,
That'd be beautiful.
and the resort has land that we can use to put it on. I've talked to John Kitts, there's land out there that the resort will allow us to put it on. One of the things we had talked about, buying the land, the resort's like, no, we're not selling you land, but you can put the sign there, so. As long as the village can put their sign on private land, but who knows, there's probably some law against that.
Well, apparently if you lease it.
Yeah, you can do a lease agreement,
Okay.
100-year lease agreement.
Well, if there's no further
I have something that I want to bring up. Since I was on this board, I've been about a year, I've been trying to find out about the sports and recreation tax, and nobody knows anything. Nobody knows. And from what the last that I have found out is that in 2006, there was a bond issue that went out, the citizens voted on it, it was passed, and it was a 15-year thing. So that would have been done in 2021. So if that's the case, are we legally collecting taxes that we may not have the
That
right
sports fee tax expires in 2025.
in 25?
Yes.
Okay.
That 2%, that's, because right now we get 5 on lodging and 2
It's
something on sports
2.4.
fee. That goes away. I'm hoping it doesn't go away and it's used for something moving forward, because we still have things we need. And whether we're passing along 7% to the lot, to their guests, or 5%, nobody notices.
Well,
So,
I know I talk to lots of different renters, and they don't like that because it's not always being collected by Airbnb and
Right.
those sort of things and
Air-
given
yeah.
back to us. And
Yeah.
so those of us that know, we pay that.
yeah,
So it's not like we don't have enough money. We have what, $1.5 million we're trying to use? So if it goes back out to the public and they vote for it, fine. But if that expires and we don't renew that, I don't want to see it personally.
right.
I'm just saying.
Right, we don't just need to collect 2% to go in the general fund.
Right.
That's not even legal, I don't think. So if when that tax expires, it's gonna something will have to come up. Or you can't collect it anymore,
Okay,
I
so
believe.
can you, once I know all of the files and everything are all messed up because of this, do you know what that is exactly? You said it was expiring in 25?
That's what I've been told.
Okay, so who will know that?
You probably
Brett?
need to talk to manager Weir.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brett, maybe Santos, but probably Brett.
Okay, I just feel like every time I ask this question, it's kind of like, whatever. And I'd like to
It would
know.
definitely be a good one at the next village council meeting.
Okay,
You have 2 minutes to, submit it in
Okay.
advance, and then I would ask that question at the,
okay,
during a 2-minute, you can sign a piece of paper, and then, it's definitely something that needs to be found out, and it is part of our village comprehensive plan, because that money goes toward the field, so it does fall within our discussion right now, but it would be interesting to know, if it's going toward
How it's being
completing the
used.
circle, or, we just gonna put a half semicircle, or
Sure.
if it's gonna have
Maintenance.
bathrooms and lights and things like that, but,
okay, that was all.
anybody else?
No, that's a good question.
I call this meeting closed, and if you could discontinue the video.
Thank you. Back to work, yeah.
Hey, you know, the other big events,
Yeah.
When are you leaving for?
Your trip. Oh, that's not too June. Yeah, that's the first of June next year. Yeah, because he graduates.
Hey, we'll see you, Nancy.
Hey,
You go, Nancy. If you're gonna do that, just
Let me know for all.
you want him? Okay.
Why is
so
it
two
not?
weeks. Yeah.